Welcome to Rom Wills Money Matters. Research why a business you are interested in fails. Now, I talked about doing a researching business that you want to start, researching the areas and, even online, researching where you can advertise your business. That's important. But it's also important to find out why a particular business fails. As best as possible, I don't care what it is, ask yourself why it fails. See if we can get any information why a particular business in a particular area fails. That's a little bit harder to get. That's a little bit harder to get because people typically don't want to talk about that. But maybe, you read some business magazines, read some articles, read some online stuff. Do a search on it and say, why does business fail? Because it depends on what you add. It could fail for multiple reasons. One of the things is demographics. It makes sure if a business failed because they weren't in the right location, boom. Like a location I used in the last episode, I talked about vegan restaurants. If you put a vegan restaurant in the wrong neighborhood, it's not going to make money. It's not going to make money, or the wrong place. You might put it in some mall or something and they got plenty of traffic, but you got a bunch of people in there who are meat eaters. They don't even want to try vegan, like hardcore. Say you in an area where barbecue is big, a vegan restaurant probably wouldn't go. Vegans probably wouldn't be able to set up something at a barbecue competition, So, you just always look at it. It's like if you want to set up something like a yoga studio, well, do the people in the general area, are they the type who would get into yoga? It's whatever it is. I don't care what it is. Or if you want like a buy here, pay here car place. Yeah, those work in poor neighborhoods where they have trouble with credit and everything. But you put that in a rich area, if you can even afford to put it in a rich area, they probably just look at you like, well, why would I go to you? I can go here. My credit is great. But see, that could be location. It could be whatever. But why did your particular business fail? And see, the main reason why you want to do that, you don't want to mistake. You don't want to do the mistakes. Now, this is part of your research. It's one thing to research why it would succeed in a particular area or why a particular business or product service would succeed. But you gotta ask yourself, okay, what happened for them to fail? Like there was a shoe repair place, one of those shoe repair places near me. Now it came under new ownership, but under the old ownership, the owner wasn't good about being there on time and everything. There were a lot of complaints about him. And he had a lot of stuff going on, but see, that's not good for business. If you have a brick and mortar business, you got to open up, and you probably need at least one other person who can come in there and do the work, so it's not totally dependent. One of the mistakes he made was he was like the sole employee. And that's not going to work, because then when he can't make it or he's late or something, that's a problem. He should have had another employee in there. That's how you do it. You always need somebody else who can come in. That could do it. Or a business could fail because it was just in a place like maybe it's in a dying mall or something, and it just didn't have good foot traffic in there. You gotta look at that. Just ask yourself, okay, why does business fail in this area? You could see plenty of things. Might not have advertised. It could have failed because the person wasn't good at it. You want to figure it out. You want to research it, particularly, whatever term you want to use in the area that you want to get into. You want to do that. That's very important. That way you don't make the same mistakes. Because if they fail, okay, I don't care what the business is. Insert any business you want. If that business failed in a certain area, you got to look at the owner. Say, okay, maybe they weren't doing it right. Maybe it was the demographics of where they wanted to go. It was like, it might not have been the demographics and everything, or it could have been the demographics, whatever. It's like, okay, if they don't have the demographics to support that type of business, the people in that area, that region don't support it. And even online, if something fell, it's like, okay, did it fail because it was just bad? Did they have bad service? They could have failed because they didn't mail stuff to people one time. And then how people, they review businesses. you know? Or if you have a brick and mortar, say you have a restaurant, it don't make it. It could be the food thing. Now, I've talked before about a guy I knew in the DC area. He had a buffalo chicken restaurant, baked buffalo chicken. It was real good, but he eventually moved. He sold the same sort to somebody else. They went out of business quickly. I knew the problem right there. The main reason his business, the buffalo chicken guy's business, was successful was mainly because of him, his customer service. He had the women lined up. It was women. People would be lined up. He was that type. You would think of him as your best friend. He just had charisma like crazy. But then somebody else came with the exact same food, but didn't have anywhere near the charisma. Then, the chicken would be sitting in there cold. When it was with the first guy, he had so many people. People were buying it right out the oven. The second guy who had it, like I said, no charisma. No charisma. People barely came in there. The chicken was getting cold. So that's something you look at. You got to look at all angles. Where they at? The people who running it. The demographics, everything. And this is even online. People have some good stuff, maybe online. Maybe the website wasn't okay. Or maybe they failed. Like I say, it can be tough, but maybe they failed because they didn't mail out stuff quick. Or, they didn't fulfill the orders, or the stuff just could have been crap. You want to look at all of that stuff because you want to do it so you don't do it. It's just that simple. You don't want to make that mistake. You don't want to do the exact same thing that they did wrong. It was like learn from someone else, even if they fail. You can learn from somebody's failures. Like if somebody even telling you, they say, well, I did this, this, and this. You sit there and listen to them. Don't say, oh, you failed. Just sit there and listen to them. It's like you just listen to them quietly and say, okay, I won't be doing that. I won't be doing that. In fact, they might even tell you, don't do this, this, this. You still do the research off of what they said. And it might have just been something they did wrong that they shouldn't have done. But you want to research why any business, you want to do total research. And let me bring in what I was saying in the first one. First, you want to find out how it succeeded, where it's at, demographics, but then you'll want to see why it failed. And, sometimes you can see where it failed, put a business in the exact same area and succeed. Now, what's the difference? You ain't doing the same things. Wow. Even doing the eye test. Like some people might go into, there's a lot of people who will go into a similar business and see why they succeed, or, check out their services and stuff like that. That happens a lot. Even I've seen some major grocery stores, they'll tell people coming in to check it out, hey, you need to report to us. People don't always report. Sometimes people do mystery stuff and all of that, but they would know. They would know. You want to know why. You don't want to make the same mistakes. And it's part of your research. Of course, you want to research why they're successful. You want to research all the other stuff I talked about in a previous episode. But you want to find out why something failed. That way you don't make the same mistakes. Boom. That's part of your research. All right? So anyway, y'all know the deal. Let's go make that money.